So, hi everyone, this is your host Achyut with my co-host Tarini. We'll be talking to Riya, who's an employee at Tata Steel, who was an employee at Tata Steel, currently pursuing MBA in Business Analytics, and has successfully bagged an internship at Simon Kucher and Partner. So, we'll be knowing more about her Tata Steel life, her life at NIT Jamshedpur, and how did she get into an MBA college and whatnot. And we both, Tarini and me, would be talking to her. So, hi Riya, how are you?
Hi Achyut, hi Tarni. Thank you so much for having me. This is my first podcast, and I'm really excited to answer all your questions.
Right. So, Ria, let's start from like the beginning. So you joined. I don't know if it was called AIEEE that time or what was it. So did you
It was
give JEE
JEE
main
mains.
JEE
It was
mains
JEE
itself?
mains.
Okay, all
Yes.
right. So you did JEE mains and you got an NIT Jamshedpur, right? So how was the NIT Jamshedpur? I am from Jamshedpur, so I was from Jamshedpur. So how is the NIT Jamshedpur? Hostel, eateries,
I,
places to roam around.
sure. I'll quickly jump onto NIT Jamshedpur, but just before that, a very brief intro about me. So I come from Ranchi, very close to Jamshedpur. Completed my education till class 12 from Ranchi,
Uh-huh.
and as all middle class parents tell their children, engineering is the way ahead. Prepare for JE, get into IIT or NIT, and your life is set. I was
Right.
sold the same story. I felt
Uh-huh.
it with my class 11 and 12, prepared for JE mains and advanced. Did not clear JE advanced, but my JE mains rank was decent enough to get me a seat at NIT Jamshedpur. And 2016, I landed up in NIT Jamshedpur, and that was the first turning point of my life.
Uh-huh.
I was sure that since the very beginning, I've been very active in extracurriculars, sports, debating, quizzing, and I knew that was not going to change, and that did not change. I was a part of more than 4 or 5 clubs at NIT Jamshedpur. So the clubs took the maximum amount of my time at NIT Jamshedpur. Other
Right.
than that, it was my first hostel experience. So that was pretty fun too, living with so many girls at one under one roof. The mess food, initially it was lovely, but then when you get used to it, you start finding faults. This could be better, uh, things like that.
Right.
What else? We did roam around Jamshedpur quite a lot when we were free.
Uh-huh.
We had this bus system that dropped NIT students from the main gate to Bishtupur Gol Chakkar every evening. So whenever
Every
we were free,
evening.
we would just, yes, free of cost. So whenever we
Oh,
were free, we would just hop on that bus, step down at the Bishtupur Gol Chakkar, roam around,
right,
maybe eat pani puri, puchka, bhel puri, shop
right.
something if we had to with the limited money, and get back again at 8 p.m. and be back on campus by 9. So we had a restriction of 9 p.m. at college for the girls' hostel. It was
Uh-huh.
much easier for the boys' hostel, but we had such strict rules. So that was it.
Right.
Visited all the small visiting places in Jamshedpur, Jubilee Park, the water park, a few temples. And because
Uh-huh.
my home was in Ranchi, so I also went home like once in a few months. So that was
Mm-hmm.
also pretty nice.
That's nice.
And normal
2016,
college stuff.
right. 2016 was a good time, right? 2016.
Yes, yes. Both 2016 and 2017. Till my second year, there was no pressure.
Uh-huh.
Uh, the real pressure for internships and jobs started like post my second year. So the initial years were very, very chill.
Right. 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 Right.
That was nice to hear, Ria, considering you were speaking about joining so many clubs and things like that. I think I could relate on that because I also partake in all of that. It was very interesting to hear. So we know that you have joined Tata Steel after your experience at NIT Jamshedpur. So, would you like to tell us a little more about how your work life was there? What all things you had to do to get into Tata Steel and things like that?
Sure. So my branch at NIT Jamshedpur was EC, Electronics and Computer Engineering, and Tata Steel per se did not hire for the IT branches CSE and EC, but they had this competition called Tata Steel Women of Metal, which was open for all branches. And luckily for me, I won the competition. I was in the top 10 among all the participants that year, and the prize was a scholarship and a direct PPO at Tata Steel. So that is how I landed up at Tata Steel. And right back then, I had different plans for myself. So I wanted to prepare for UPSC. So when I got placed in my third year itself through that PPO and that competition, I started preparing for UPSC because I had so much more free time. And now I regret it a little because I did not sit for other placements. I absolutely knew that I will accept this and prepare, like I'll give all my fourth year to UPSC preparation. But in hindsight, I'm not really sure what I could have done different. But with my limited knowledge, that's what I decided to do. And then but my plans changed. I decided not to go ahead with my UPSC journey.
Right.
And I joined Tata Steel in December 2020. Our joining was delayed by a few months because of the COVID havoc that had all of us under Caesar. So yes, and I joined as a management trainee technical. They have around a year of training to give you the basics of the steel industry, to give you the basics of the kind of technical work you will be doing. So that training period was shortened for us because of COVID. And right after the training period ended, I was posted as a manager in one of the plants within the Tata Steel Jamshedpur premises. It was the coke plant, and I was the manager electrical maintenance. I had a team of 40 people under me, all really old and experienced men. The gender ratio was very skewed, as you would expect in such a technical hardcore steel plant, which was really the case. But then I did not ever feel that I was excluded in something. If you have the technical expertise, if you can contribute on field, there was no discrimination as such. The work policies and the culture, all of it was very nice. But then a year into the job, I realized I'm cut out for such a technical niche role. I would want a broader, more holistic job. I would want something less technical, something that lets my creative part also come out. Something that lets me maybe travel a little, maybe something a little less rigid. And then what options did I have? UPSC was already cut out. So I decided to go ahead with my CAT preparations while on the job.
So it's very difficult, as you said, that while on job you prepared for CAT and all, and getting into IIM that's the what do you say, the hype,
the Holy Trinity.
Yes, the Holy Trinity. Yes. Into ABC. First of all, preparing for JEE mains and getting into NIT and EC. That's great. And after that, preparing while on job and then getting into Holy Trinity. How did that go for you? How did you get the time? How did you manage everything for preparing for this?
Yeah, so the shortest answer I can give you is it requires discipline. I can say, like, having crossed the path, I can look back and say it was easy, but it wasn't as easy. Like, I'll not put it under rosy glasses and tell you it was absolutely easy. It did require discipline. But then once I decided I have to give CAT this year, that was like I had to do it anyhow. So the problem was that even though we were going through waves of COVID, because it was a core job, I had to report to the plant every day. It could not be done from home. Unlike all my IT friends who were working in the IT sector who worked from home. So even though I remember like going to the plant even during the peak of the second COVID wave. So that was one problematic part of the job. But other than that, the good part was the fixed hours. So I had a 10-hour job. Other than that, I only had to be available on call after my 10-hour job. So I made sure that that 10 hours were non-disturbed work. But when I come back, I maybe flip through a few pages and go to sleep early. So I'm an early riser. I was before joining the MBA. Things have changed now, but then till then I was an early riser, and I used to study around 2 to before going for the job, before going to office. And on weekends, most of my weekends were free. I did not have to go to plant. Other than being, I'm repeating, I had to be available on call 24/7 because I was the manager of a section for which the production was 24/7. So if anything went wrong at any moment, I had to get it fixed either by reporting at the plant or making sure someone who has the expertise goes and corrects the problem. So that
Right.
was another small issue with a core job. But luckily for me, I did not have to report on Saturdays and Sundays. I had a very good and understanding team under me. So yes. So how did I prepare? Those 2 and 3 hours Monday to Friday, irrespective of how tired I am or what a packed day I have in front of me. Those 2 and 3 hours were fixed. And on weekends, I try to maximize it as much as possible. 6, 7, 8 as much as it. And yes, so from around May 2021 to November 2021, that was pretty much my schedule. No going out on the weekends, no parties, and yes, 6, 7 months of dedicated preparation.
Obviously, that's resulted in something great, and now you have an IIMB. So, congrats.
Thank you,
So,
guys.
moving on, uh, would you like to share your current experience in IIM Bangalore, the kind of culture there, the difference between the education styles in engineering colleges and business schools, what you feel like is the major key difference also in maybe the peer community or even the just the overall vibe as such, if you could call it. So what would you like to say about this?
Uh, there is a very huge difference between engineering colleges and it's not just the gender ratio. There is everything else. So first of all, the diversity of people you meet here. I have uh, a literature grad in my business analytics course with me. I have CAs, I have people from the fashion industry, people from design, people uh, from all kinds of courses. That I even have a dentist in my class. The diversity that I'm surrounded with, and it's not just like, and that's visible in the class discussions. It's like people say that a few years down the line you will be your network. I can proudly say that my network has like uh, expanded exponentially here. Also coming to the courses and the administrative issues, uh, it's top notch. It wasn't bad at NIT Jamshedpur, but then there was a level of complacency. Like it was a fixed routine every year from I don't know the past how many years. The same courses were being taught in the same way. Mm, Like we had not even moved to a new curriculum based on the current technology. Same exam pattern, everything as it is just going. Like it just repeats every year. You have figured out a way to marks because your seniors told you so, and you repeat that and you pass it on to your juniors. Even administration was not so helpful. They were like, you can manage it on your own. Of course, that made us very adaptable. That made us like live in all kinds of circumstances. But here, it's much more understanding. It's much more modern. So the courses are reviewed every 2 to 3 years to keep in pace with the changing times. The courses are much interactive. There, we hardly spoke in class because like it was mostly technical. So either it was a right answer or a wrong answer. But here there are no right and wrong answers. You put up your perspective. This is how I think. Someone can counter you with their own perspective, and you cannot say they're wrong. That's how they look at the issue. Even the professors will put in their point of view, and there's this brewing of thoughts, which is very interesting to watch. There are don't contribute to the class. I'm just looking here and there. Okay, he said this, she said this, the professor said this, and I just let it settle in my mind. So it's very intellectually stimulating. And for the administrative part in the facilities, every single thing that you can think of is taken care of. Food, amenities, all kinds of facilities, the sports complex, everything is taken care of. You just have to study. You just have to make groups and actually study. Another big difference is a very huge percentage weightage given to group projects and assignments. So that was very less in my engineering times. Even if there were projects, they were, we all know like how much project work we have copied. But here we have very strict ways to check plagiarism. Even the new tool to check if the assignment has been written by ChatGPT or by an AI, even that has been implemented right like the previous week. So they are quite ahead of the times, and that makes us work hard. That makes us actually put in real, honest work.
Mhm.
So yes, that's my time at IIMB. Academically speaking, extracurricular wise also there are a lot of facilities. We have inter IIM fest, sports fest. Like I said, tomorrow Unmad starts. So no dearth of extracurricular activities as well.
Right.
And
So,
another thing,
right.
we also have lots of case competitions in MBA schools. So that's another thing that keeps us busy.
Case competitions and case studies. You will be getting case studies and you'll be studying
No,
that.
no, not the case studies of classrooms. We have the case based method of teaching, but all kinds of corporations and colleges. Let's say Colgate comes up with a problem they are facing, and they'll put it out as a case that anyone can solve and win prizes. Same with
Okay.
HUL. So all these companies have case competitions which we
Right.
can participate in, and they have prizes like cash money or PPOs. So that's a big thing for MBA students.
Right. Right. So now everyone who's going to watch all this is like going to be super excited. People who many people don't have this thought of doing an MBA, but now sounding like this, it would be like a great thing for people.
It
Right.
it it is it is.
Right. So can you tell us more about the course you're doing at because in MBA there are a lot of MBAs to do, like there are different minors or majors you call them. So what is your major and how are you going about it?
Okay. So the 2-year MBA program at IIM Bangalore, the PGP course is basically of two kinds. One is the general PGP, and the other is PGP BA, which is PGP postgraduate program in business analytics. So I'm a student of PGP BA, and uh, other than the choice of electives, pretty much everything is the same. So for the PGP people, apart from the core courses that every MBA student is supposed to know, maybe the basics of finance, the basics of marketing, the basics of corporate strategy. After all these courses are completed in the first 2 terms, the PGP students have a wide variety of electives that they can choose from. All kinds of, like, if they are interested in finance, they'll take up more finance electives. If they are more interested in product development, they'll take more courses of product development. So they are free to choose their electives. But for the PGP BA program, we have a fixed set of core subjects for BA. After completing your MBA core subjects, that is basics of finance and marketing and accounting, you have to go through a fixed number of analytics courses. Courses like applied probability, statistical modeling, time series, AI, deep learning. So these are some fixed courses that we have to take. So because there is only a set number of courses we can take, so this reduces our free electives, the electives that we can choose freely. So that is one very big difference between PGP and PGP BA. Other than that, in terms of placements, there is not much difference. We sit like we have our placements together. Almost all companies are open for both PGP and PGP BA.
That's amazing. So I guess that was very insightful for anyone who wanted to know the difference between a normal PGB course and a PGB BA course. So great info on that. Another really interesting thing about Riya, for whoever's watching, is she also has a blogging page on Instagram where she posts amazing content and she has a great following as well. So all of you should check it out. Um, so about that, Riya, how did your whole vlogging experience start? How did you think about the idea? How did the ideation process start? And what made you get interested into showing your life as a student, or rather an MBA student in IIMB world? Like, how did that start?
So now that I look back, there were so many dots that connected for me to come here and reach here and start this journey. But that time they did not make sense. So the first dot is that my father is a photographer. So I have been around cameras all my life. And also I have been I have been creative. In my UG days, it was writing. But then now it has shifted to photography, clicking pictures and videos. So when I landed at IIM Bangalore, I realized that I want to document my journey. So I had very few pictures of my UG days, and it basically started as just documenting my journey for myself. When I pass out from IIM Bangalore, I want to have pictures, not just a few of them, 10s and 15, but a lot more, like I want to look back at all my phases of the MBA journey. So it basically started like that. But then I started posting very rarely, but then started picking up. Maybe it was because of the IM tag, or maybe it was because people actually want to know what goes on in campuses of the likes of IIM Bangalore, which are very tough to get into, honestly. So so that kind of numeric validation motivated me to create more, become more consistent. So that's how Instagram dot realizations was created, and I've tried my best to be as transparent and as honest I can be on that page. And it's basically my documentation of my life at IIM Bangalore, and I hope it'll go on to cover all phases of my life.
I have to
Right.
say, you spoke like a true IIMB graduate
Is it?
when you spoke about how the numbers motivated you, and I can relate too. So, yeah.
We'll put in the description or the chat box. We'll put in the tags. So do follow realizations.
Follow here, like here,
Yes,
here.
yes. Over
Yeah.
here, over here,
Of
over
course.
here. So yeah.
Sure,
Okay.
sure.
So Riya,
Yeah.
many
So I'm
people.
sure all of our viewers will.
Correct, correct,
Sorry.
correct.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get to see my life at IIM Bangalore.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm sure most people watching this will definitely check it out, and if not, you have to. So please do not.
Guys, Sarini is saying that you have to. You have to. Yes.
You have to.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for the free publicity. I'm not paying them.
Yeah. She's not paying us. I can assure that. We can both assure that.
So, yeah, many people are still stuck on the question. Many people, even in interviews, we ask, what in next 5 years? Where do you see yourself? Again, me being an interviewer over here, I'll ask the same question. What after IIMB? What's your plan? What's going on?
So if you'd asked me this question maybe a year or two ago, my answer would have been completely professional. Where do I see myself professionally 5 years ahead? But like having come out of an engineering college, worked for 2 years, getting into a college of my dreams, and being around such amazing people who've done so much in their lives, and then come to a college like this and interacting with them, you realize there is so much more to life than just career, than just profession. So there are people here who have left a job that paid maybe twice as much as they would get a job coming out of MBA. So you realize that money is not the only thing that you come to a college, a place like this for. Network, people, building a life, building systems, all these are equally important. So where do I see myself 5 years down the line? Certainly doing professionally well. That has not gone away. Maybe things have added to that point, but that still remains a very big point. So like I told you, I'll be interning at a consulting firm this summer. So I hope to bag a PPO at that place and continue working there as a consultant. That'll be my primary job. No questions asked. I hope to get better at the job and keep getting the promotions and keep doing well in my primary career. Other than that, the kind of life that I've built myself, a life that has exercise, a life that has meeting friends, a life that has good habits, that I want that to continue as well. I want to continue reading. I want to continue my side hustle of documenting my journey. I want to continue meeting new people. So all these things will also add on to my growth, making me reach where I will in the next 5 years.
Absolutely. And everything you said, I'm sure, is very inspirational to many people, like it is to me. Everything you're saying, I just see myself taking so much from it and hopefully embodying a little bit of it
Exactly
in
there,
my
Tarik.
next few years.
A few years ago, maybe 6 years ago, I was exactly there. So I know I can
Yeah.
remember those days.
I'm glad you can see that in me. So, as such, about your journey in IIMB and in NIT in Jamshedpur and things like that. So, more often than not, most students aim to always get into such top tier universities and things like that. And they try many things. Of course, hard work, like you said, is the main key thing and things like that. But like you also said, there is a life apart from just educational qualifications and job and career focus. So, what would be your advice in general to students currently in their bachelor's or even in their master's or going to pursue their master's? What would be your general advice to on how to take life or your note on this topic?
Honestly, I don't know if I'm capable enough of giving advice per se, but from what I've learned from the kind of life that I am trying to make for myself, build for myself, I can say first and foremost, MBA is not the only way to a successful life. There are tons of ways to make money, make good money. But before you decide what will be your primary stream of making money, like pause and think, what do you want from your life? Is it independence? Is it money? Is it fame? Is it power? And plan your life around that. So if you want to make money, if you want to make crazy money, maybe the IT sector is booming right now. I'm sure all of us know friends who are earning crazy in the IT sector. So if you enjoy coding or you find it barely, like if you're fine coding, say, then maybe enhance your coding skills, enhance your development skills. That can be one way. If you don't enjoy coding so much and you see yourself as a generalist, then maybe an MBA from a good college can be your way into making money. Forget money. If you want to make a difference, then something that makes meaning for you. Or it could be sports, or we all know these things, but we actually don't pause and actually think. We just go behind the fixed way that we've been told. So my only advice is actually pause and think what you want from your life, and what answers you get, have the courage to follow them. And I'm not perfect at following it myself, but I try, and that's what I can hope to try.
Right. So stay away
I
from
don't know.
herd mentality
Absolutely.
as much as possible, right? Herd
Yeah,
mentality won't
Exactly.
take you anywhere.
yes.
Growth mindset. It's all you need
Yes.
to succeed.
So guys, a slight change. Growth mindset. All you need to succeed is a book where Tarani has a chapter on it. So do
That was her plug-in.
yes,
Yes,
that
that was my yes, so do check it out.
We'll link that in the description.
we will for sure do that. We'll for sure do that. Okay.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, it was great knowing your insight on the topic of discussion right now. And though you said it's not really a great thing to get into such institutes or whatever, like it's not the only thing. I definitely think it's a very appreciable thing and it's applaudable that you have reached where you have. And we only hope that you grow further from here. I'm sure Achit has things to say as well. So I'll ask him to just continue.
right, yeah.
Thank you, Karan.
It was great having you. First of all, really thanks a lot for accepting this thing. We are really small right now. We are also building our own blogging journey. Me being in fourth year, Tony being in first year, we take this effort and like we do this. And we all know that we planned a lot. We'll have done this date,
Yes.
then that date, then I moved somewhere, and then again it got cancelled last moment, and this that, and then finally we are having it. So I'm really happy it
We've
happened.
ended up having it. So
Yes. So that is great. So thanks a lot for being present for this now.
Thank you so much. And like I already told you, I don't know what I was doing in my first year or fourth year. You guys are like actually doing a podcast. I'm sure all of us think of doing things like this, but not all of us are able to execute it. So the fact that you're executing it, putting out content every week, that's commendable. Kudos, keep doing. Tarani, especially you. Like I'm so proud of just story. Same for you,
thank
Achyut.
you.
Good
Thanks a
luck
lot.
and feel free to stay in touch.
Perfect. Thanks a lot. We have follow Oilgasm
Absolutely.
wala part.
Oh, yes. And please follow Oilgasm on LinkedIn. They put out amazing podcasts that you will find of value. And also follow Realizations on
Yes.
Instagram
Yeah.
Right.
if you want to see what MBA life at IIM Bangalore is like. And have a good day.
Thanks a lot,
Thank
Priya.
you so
Thanks a
much,
lot.
Riya. It was amazing having you today, and
Same,
hope
absolutely.
everyone watching had a great time as we
Same,
did.
same. It
Any
is
queries
11, but I'm
related
feeling
to
so I'm feeling so pumped up talking to you guys.
Any queries regarding IIM or IIMB or anything, people will drop them in comment, and you can for sure connect with Ria on LinkedIn, Instagram.
Yeah.
And if you want to have
Absolutely.
a chat with her or something, let us know, and we'll put you through the thing. All right. Thanks, Ria.
I'll
Thank
try
you.
my best to reply to the comments as much as I can.
Perfect.
And let's,
Right.
yeah.
Perfect.
Sure.
Thanks, Ria. Thank you.